Right now, while you're deciding if AI is worth it, your competitors are already using it to do the work of 3 employees and undercut you on price and marketing. That's your business quietly getting outcompeted. The same way businesses without a website in the 2000s got left behind and never knew why. I've gone all in on it. I ran a 3-hour workshop with my entire team, and every one of them now uses AI in their role, sharing something new they've automated each month. Today, I'm giving you my 4-step AI for Dummies blueprint that you can implement in any business in under 3 hours. You know, my mother, God bless her, she used to have a Nokia phone, and she would see me with my iPhone and she would say to me, Emile, what a waste. This is where it's at. You know, the Nokia phone. Why do you need to spend $1,000 on the phone? I'm never going to use that. And guess what? She has an iPhone now and she's like a wizard. She knows how to go on the maps. She knows how to FaceTime. She knows how to go on Messenger. She's adapted the technology. And that's going to be a lot like AI in the next 10 years. You're not going to see people with Nokias, right? It's going to be weird. Imagine if you saw someone on the street and they had a Nokia phone and they'd be like, man, why do you have a Nokia, right? That's what AI is going to be like. It's going to be like, why aren't you using AI? Take, for example, right now, if you said to someone on the street, hey, what's your website? Oh, I actually don't have a website. What are they going to think? They're going to think you're a spam company or you're a spammer, right? But in the early 2000s, they never thought websites and the internet were going to be a big thing. The reality is AI is here. It's not going away. And in 10 years' time, if you don't adapt this technology into your business, not only are you going to be a dinosaur, but it's going to make you very hard to compete in the marketplace. The challenging part is a lot of business owners are so inundated of everything they need to work on. And it's like, oh, another thing I need to do, implementing AI in the business. So what I'm going to try to do for you in this video is break down is in a simpler version, how you can implement AI into your business. The first stepping stone for what you can do. Point number 1, you need to prioritize AI learning into your daily schedule. If you're going into university, the reality is you're going to have to allocate some time to study to pass the course. You're not just going to magically pass the course randomly. And AI is like that. You can't expect to watch a 10-minute clip on YouTube, a 5-minute short, and know how to use AI. You actually have to sit down and study and watch videos for people on how they're using AI. You have to prioritize it in your day, at least a minimum of 1 to 2 hours per day dedicated on learning, watching, and implementing AI. And I know that might sound a lot, but that's just a reality. Too many people, they watch a 15-minute video and they're still confused. You have to fully immerse yourself into the training. So all you need to do is pick one YouTube creator and watch one video per day for the next month. That's what I did, right? Exact same thing I did. When Claude Cowork was coming out, everybody was posting about it. You need to be on it. You need to be on it. You know what I said? Oh man, I don't want to lose. I finally learned how to use ChatGPT. Now I need to use another platform, right? I was resistant to it. Then I said, you know what? If I just watch one video per day from one YouTuber, the same YouTuber, because if you watch too many, you're going to get confused. And I do this for 1 month, I'm going to know it. So I did that. One YouTuber, one video per day. And I did that for a whole month. And by the end of the month, I knew how to use the technology. So set aside time, one person on YouTube, one video per day for a month straight. And by the way, what I did is I learned how to use a platform for 2 months, and then I held a live workshop with all of my head office team members. I purchased a subscription plan for them using Claude, and I taught them everything that I know. So now they're using the technology based on my training. Okay, so now that you're putting the actual time in to learn, the next step is where most people get it wrong. Point number 2, map out exactly what is worth automating in your business. The reality is every business is different. One YouTuber or one person might say, hey, you should automate this, but that might not be relevant to your business. So you only want to automate certain functions within your business. And the criteria that you want to use is if it's a recurring task, you want to automate it. You don't want to automate one-time tasks. If it's reoccurring, you want to automate it. And then if it is very admin heavy, then you want to automate it as well. So the 2 box tickers you're looking for is a reoccurring task and an admin heavy task. Those are the activities that you want to automate in your business. The other day I was speaking to a lady and she was telling me that she's run some hypothetical profit and loss numbers and she wanted to run them by me. So I said, okay, what do you have? I've calculated, Emile, the court hire fees to be about $200 an hour. And then I said, whoa, hold on. Your numbers are really off. And so I said, where did you get those numbers from? Oh, look, I assumed. Never assume. I've created a franchise profit calculator where you can input real numbers, court hire fees, coaches' wages, how many kids you have in the program, so you can find out what your potential profit is per class. Click the link below to use the calculator. I hope you find it useful. So it's as simple as that. Get a blank piece of paper and write down everything that you can automate in your business that is repetitive and doesn't require much of a human touch. Some examples to get your ideas flowing is responding to customer inquiries, the same type of customer inquiries. Responding to DMs, chasing up overdue invoices, writing and scheduling social media posts every week, putting together a weekly sales or performance report, or rostering staff. These are all examples of reoccurring activities that are very admin burden. Write it all down on a piece of paper, pause the video, stop, get it all done. I'm going to pause it. I want you to pause the video. Okay, so once you've created your list, do not touch or start anything. Let me show you what to do next. Okay, so now you have an entire list of every task in the business that you can automate. What you need to do now is prioritize the top 3 that you want to automate, because not all of them are going to give you the best return on investment. You want to pick the top 3 by putting 1, 2, and 3 next to that task. Now, the task that you want to pick or prioritize as 1, 2, and 3 is the most reoccurring task that happens consistently in the business. If you've got a task that happens every single day, that's a high recurring task, that places a priority, and one that doesn't have much of a human touch. So if it's a high recurring task and it doesn't have much of a human touch, you want to prioritize it as 1, 2, or 3. So get your entire list and put a 1, 2, and 3 on the most important tasks that you want to automate. So just some examples of something that you might put on the top of that list. Answering repetitive customer FAQs is high amount of times and might happen frequently that doesn't require much of a human touch. Another example might be a weekly sales report that you need at the same time. Again, recurring, time consuming. Something like handling a customer complaint. So write them all down and you're going to prioritize 1, 2, and 3. Stop and pause the video until you've done this. Now, by the way, the reason why we want to put 1, 2, and 3 is I don't want to overburden you. We don't want to automate everything in our business. Too many people, they get scared because they just think, oh my God, there's a whole mountain. We're not here to climb a mountain. We're here to take one step into climbing that mountain. That's why it's very important that you prioritize what you want to automate by putting 1, 2, and 3 next to it. Okay, so now you've got your list of everything you want to automate and you've put 1, 2, and 3 next to it. What we're going to do now is you're going to grab task number 1. You're going to grab a separate piece of paper. You're going to put the name of that task, and you're going to list all of the subtasks that need to be done in order to get that task done. Most of the time, any task has a list of subtasks that need to be done in order to get that main task done. So grab a separate paper, write out that number 1, whatever that task was, and I want you to write out all the subtasks that need to get done. I'm going to give you a real example. Come with me. We're going to do a screen share. So let's walk you through an actual example that I wanted to automate in my business. So the main task that I wanted to automate was updating franchisee enrollments daily to provide accurate coaching. It's actually one of the most important tasks in our business. One of my roles in the company is seeing where each franchisee is at with their enrollments, spotting red flags early on, and providing coaching to make sure that franchisees are hitting their numbers so that they're profitable. Now, when I wrote down the subtasks that were needed to get this done, there was actually a couple. Now, by the way, this is a high recurring task, and a lot of it is very much so admin burden. The first one was admin updates a spreadsheet with each franchisee's current enrollments. I couldn't get that automated, so our team member every single morning updates all the enrollments for where each franchisee is at, and that's done on a spreadsheet. Then the second thing that happens in this task is I need to review each franchisee and set their enrollment target for next term. So if they're on 100, their target might be 120 for next term, and I need to actually set a target each term. The third is I need to compare their current enrollment to where they were at last term and what their current target is for this term to identify any trends and to see if they're on track or off track to meeting their target. Then the fourth subtask is I need to review their retention rate. So I actually have to find out what their retention rate is and identify any trends. Is it high, is it low, or is it the same? And by the way, the retention rate, it's one of the most important metrics in our business. It shows you how many of your customers are coming back every single term. And then I need to color code just to make it easier because I'm more of a visual person. Green means they're on track and I don't need to book a coaching call with them. Red means they need attention and I need to book a coaching call with them to keep them on track. So this was the entire process. This was the main task and this was the subtasks that were required. What I want you to do now is pause the video, write out your main task and write out all the subtasks within all the subtasks to complete that main task. Point number 6, pick your AI tool and you're going to ask the AI tool to build out the automation for you and it'll do it for you. Now I use Claude Cowork because I think that's the best AI software out there. You can use any you want, but if you go to Claude Cowork and you go to Cowork and you create a new session, you're going to write out your activity that you do, whatever number 1 was, the activity. You're going to list all the subtasks that's required. And then you're going to ask the AI platform, please build this out as an automation for me, and it will create the entire flow for you. Now, you might need to do a couple of iterations to get it perfect, but ask the platform, don't figure it out yourself. Ask the platform to build out the automation for you. Now I'm going to show you what the finished product looks like. So using Claude Cowork, this is what the final product looked like. I created an artifact, which is pretty much a live dashboard on Claude Cowork. And anytime I hit reload, it automatically updates all the enrollments and where each franchisee is at. So I can see my network total, how many we got last term, our renewal goal, how many franchisees are on track, who needs attention and who's at risk. It also gives me a franchisee's personal best. And I can see each franchisee's enrollments and the ones that are in red are a little bit behind that I might need to book a coaching call. The ones that are in yellow is, what was yellow mean? Yellow needs attention. And the ones that are in green are on track. This would have taken me an hour or 2 every time I needed to produce the report. Now, anytime I click this button called reload, it produces me this report in a matter of seconds. The only thing I need to do is make sure that my admin team member updates the spreadsheet each day and it pulls the data from that spreadsheet here. And this is something that's called an artifact in Claude Cowork. Just imagine how long it'll take for me to get all this data from each franchisee every time I needed to do this report. Now, in literally 5 seconds, I know exactly who I need to focus on and who I need to book a coaching call with to keep them accountable. So hopefully this gives you an example of a main task that has been completely automated with AI that's saving me time because the human component is still there, right? The actual coaching call that I need to do is still there. The automated component was pulling all this data together. Let's continue with the video. So that brings us to the end of the video and I have a challenge for you. I don't want you to automate your entire business, right? I don't want you to get confused and overwhelmed. What I challenge you to do is automate one task in your business. Comment below what that task is that you're going to automate and when you're going to do it. I'm going to hold you accountable. I don't want you to automate your entire business, please. Just promise me one task that you're going to automate and when you're going to do it, let me know what it is in the comments. And by the way, if you like this video, I created another video for how AI is shaping franchise and franchise systems in 2026. Click the link below to watch it. And I hope you got some value today. God bless. Talk soon.